I've had my 3D printer for about a month and a half now, and I'm loving it. Even with Christmas in the way, I've still managed to get a whole heap of prints out. First thing, obviously, is my own products, and it's given me a chance to test print stuff that otherwise I would have had to send off to Shapeways and wait ages for. So things like the this roof rack for a 35th scale Land Rover, and the other bits are designed to go with the Land Rover, and a number of 6mm and similar stuff. It's also allowed me to test with printing stuff at different scales. For instance, on the right is the 285th scale Citroen Type H pickup for 6mm wargaming, and on the left is it's in 220th scale for Z-gauge railways and the like. And I've got a bunch of other stuff that I've upscaled to Z-gauge, like the Beetle and the Traction Avant, that'll be listed very soon. Also allows me to do test prints of things like these 24th scale hands holding smartphones and 24th scale bins. The 35th scale jack is scaled down from the 24th scale version, and rather than having to wait for it to be prototyped, I stuck some supports on it and ran it off as part of another print, so proof of concept. It allows me to get stuff into the shop sooner and to test various products that I might not otherwise. It also allows me to do stuff for other projects and by other designers. These bikers, for instance, were designed by a studio called U25 and came out on a Kickstarter. I got the commercial license for them, so these will be appearing in the shop as soon as I've run a few batches off and done test prints on them all. And this lot I'm painting up, I'm going to play around with as part of a big Gaslands build that's coming up. And of course I have been printing other people's designs. The chap with the skull-faced chap is from the Cyberforge Patreon, the lady with the swords from Hassle-Free Miniatures, and the dragon was part of a recent Humble bundle. I'm trying to find 24th scale figures that I can pose with my cars, and the first batch I got were 75mm, but they came out a bit too tall, nearer to 20th scale. So be scaling characters up and down to go with cars and creating my own in the end. I'm really loving this. It's given my hobby a boost, major boost. There have been failures along the way, of course. I mean, it's all part of the learning process. The most consistent thing that's failed for me are my various bus shelter designs, which just never seem to want to print. It's annoying because back when I first started designing stuff for 3D print and getting it printed at Shapeways, bus shelters were one of my original designs. So it's frustrating that I can't seem to get them to work with the printer. They will in the future. I'll work out how to make it happen. But for now, disasters. Another part of the learning curve is finding out which bits need replacing. I would never have thought before I bought it. I never realised this is a consumable. It's obvious when you think about it, because this is your only thing between the screen and all of the resin, and these little windows You can get replacements, so I'm just going to when I find the right size Allen key, I'm just going to replace this. So, the Allen key that came with my printer is not the right size. However, I think I found one that fits. Wearing the nitrile gloves because the vat always seems to retain a bit of the resin. It's a bit sticky and yuck. And also potentially irritating, so wearing the gloves to protect my fingers, my skin. There we go. I wonder if I can find a use for this in some project. This may return. So, the next step is to fit the replacement. Right, as this screws in, it's going to pull itself taut over the edge of the frame, which is going to create the seal so it doesn't leak in future. So start at the corners and just put stuff in finger tight first, and then tighten it up bit by bit as I go, very carefully. So let's start with these. Get a little bit of pressure onto it. Okay, I don't think any of those are getting any tighter without me risking damage. So, it's now ready for its first actual use.